now, is it possible that a deal is going to be reached within the next 24 hours, Samantha-Jo?
Well, Holly, there is potential, but there are obstacles that are emerging. And a lot of these divisions aren't necessarily House Speaker Nancy Pelosi versus President Trump. Instead, it's President Trump versus Senate Republicans. Time is running out as Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Secretary Steve Mnuchin attempt to finalize a stimulus deal.
I think the Secretary and I have had a number of very fruitful discussions over the last several days.
White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows remains hopeful a deal can be reached by the deadline. One sticking point remains the cost of the bill. The two sides have come closer in recent weeks. But even if the White House and Pelosi strike a deal, it doesn't mean Republicans will get on board.
I can tell you this, that there are some in the Senate that would support it. Whether there's enough votes to get to the 60-vote threshold, that's up to Leader McConnell.
If they were to come to a conclusion, I know that Republicans have not been happy with the high dollar amounts. You know, will it be Republicans that stand in the way of progress if they are able to agree?
There could be some. Yeah, there could be some, unfortunately, but it really depends on how many Democrats come on board to make up for it. Look, I've said I'm not doing the $3 trillion proposal because that, was completely out of whack. It had all kinds of spending in there that we don't really need to deal with right now.
Some fiscally conservative Republican senators are reluctant to pass a larger deal. But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell wrote in a statement, if Speaker Pelosi ever lets the House reach a bipartisan agreement with the administration, the Senate would, of course, consider it. The Senate plans to move forward with a vote this week that would include additional money for the Paycheck Protection Program and a more modest stimulus package of $500 billion.
Why not at least help small businesses? If we can agree on that, why not just pass something that contains all the things that we agree on instead of saying we're not going to agree to everything until we settle all the issues? We wouldn't do that in real life. It makes absolutely no sense.
Well, and as the back and forth goes on, experts are warning negotiators that they could be setting back this recovery even further and inflicting further economic damage. So there's obviously a huge urgency to get this done. In Washington, Samantha-Jo Roth, Spectrum, BN9.
Yeah, the market tanked today on fears that deal is not going to get worked out fast enough. All right, thank you, Samantha.